Hey everybody, welcome on back to Easy Fish Tanks. Today we're going to be doing some maintenance and trim back on my 60-gallon community planted and dirted fish tank here. So in this tank, we got rummy nose tetras, guppies, gouramis, some loaches. See all the guppies at the top of the tank, and the plants have just taken off in here. So it is time to give this a little trim up. We got to clean this algae off the front. Got all my tools of the trade. Got my plant holder here, aquascaping tools. And we got this bad boy right here. Now I left a bunch of this algae on the glass for the auto sinkless to eat, but it's time to come in here and scrape this off with our trusty old razor on a stick. One side down. Let's move over to this side and get going on that. This is tiring on the arms. Alright, we're looking much better now. Let's get a little closer view. You can see there's a bunch of stuff floating in the water column now. Oh, look at that beautiful gourami coming out. Yeah, this tank has grown quite well. I'm trying to get this bottom growth here to act like a carpet, so I'm going to trim some of that back today. That's going to get trimmed back. And then all of these stem plants that are growing from the back, those are going to need to be trimmed back as well. There's another one of the gouramis. Just a beautiful fish. What a stunner. All really pretty fish in this tank. It's time to give it a good old trim back. Oh, look at a little bit of aggression right there. Also up top here, you can see that there's a bunch of algae growing on the glass. That's from the little bubbler I have in there. So we'll need to clean those off too. Well, all right, let's get trimming. First thing I want to do is trim some of these stem plants back. You can see they're growing all through the front right here, and I want to clear up that space a bit. Come in here with the old slizzers. I want these ones to be about this height, so we'll just get trimming. Pick them all out as we go. And we'll replant some of these in the front. I don't mind some of these being taller in the back, but we'll just cut everything down. Give everything a good old trim back. I have one of these plants. It's kind of just gone crazy over here, growing through the whole thing. So I'm going to trim this back to the node that's right here. Bloop. Trim that bad boy back. Look how far this guy's grown through here. Wowzer. Wowzer. Looks like he was growing out the top of the tank. Look at that. That's quite the growth. Now I'm going to start by fishing out a bit of these trimmings. We can replant some of these. I'll replant them in the foreground most likely. Missed a big long guy up front here. Let's get him trimmed back. Get these guys cut back. I want some height in the back of the tank, but I also don't want to have to be trimming this every week. The old finger method with this one back here. Now that cleared that up quite a bit. Maybe we'll just top these guys anyways. They'll get new growth shooting out from any place that we trim them, so no worries there. I'll probably leave these right here because they kind of hide the intake. The intake for the filter. So we'll leave that there. I don't mind that hiding it. But I will trim this guy right there. I'm going to get in here too while I have the chance. And some of these plants that have grown into the filter intake, we'll go ahead and pull those out. Perfect. Now you can see the filter, but that's fine. And I mean, we all know tanks have filtration for the most part. Now we got this mess. We got this big old mess over here to trim. Oh, there's no time like the present. Let's get to it. Look at all this growth right here. This is crazy. This is all from these plants in the back. So we'll get in there and trim those back. I have a glass lid right here, like a separator. So it makes it kind of challenging. So we'll try to come in from this other side here. Since it's convenient, I guess I'll just start right over here. We'll start here on this side since I'm over here anyways. A lot of growth. I want to top these guys back here. I like the height that they're growing. So I'm just going to take a handful of them and try not to cut my finger off. Just get it trimming. I've let this go for a few months. Let me go for a few months, so we got a lot of growth. Already getting a bunch more light in now, though. Got a bunch of floating plants up here, too. Let me pull some of these out so I can actually see what we're trimming. Yeah, look at this massive plants right here. That is wild. I want to cut these ones in the front about mid-height. And they'll shoot off new growth like the other ones. So many plants. I still have not made a separate tank to put all these trimmings. I don't really have much more space to add another tank right now. I want to clear out my garage and set up a little fish studio in there, but it's full of crap like most people's garage. We'll come back here, trim off some more of this. It'd be easier if I took the lights off, but I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, so that's a good little hack back. That's a good little hack back. I'll leave these long ones in the back. I do want to trim up this middle a bit. Try to do this without blocking all your guys' view. Oh, we got a bunch right there. Wow, look at this. Look at all this. We'll plant some of this back in the foreground. When the plant growth gets this thick, it's kind of hard to even see what you're cutting. There we go. That's another good haul. That's another good haul. I'm definitely getting more light in there now. Wow, what a difference already. Look at those red plants. I don't think I'm going to trim those red plants. I kind of like them doing their thing. It's such a huge pop of color. I like to keep things trimmed, but I don't like to over trim them. I don't want it looking too planned out, you know? Keep it natural looking. But you got to come in and cut things back every now and then. You got to do some maintenance every now and then. And we'll cut. I'll just use my fingers. It's easier. Cut that right there. And I do not fertilize this tank. This is all just from, oh, look at this big chunk of algae that just floated off. You see that? That was from the light. It's like a carpet of algae that grew on the light. Get that out for sure. Take a few more of these floating plants out. We got plenty of them. We got plenty of them in there. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave those big statement piece reds. So powerful looking. I think such a strong statement in the tank. I won't take too much more off the tops. What I want to work on now is this bottom area, because I'm trying to get these bottom plants to carpet. I mean, they're not really going to carpet because they're not carpeting plants, but I'm trimming them low and then letting them go. I just came up with that rhyme. And I'm going to get in here with my fingers. We got a few plants mixed together over here. I'm going to trim those out. I don't mind these guys being over here, but I want to keep them kind of below the rock. I want the rock to be able to kind of make an impression as well. That looks good. I don't really want them growing too far over this way. I want to keep them here in this corner and then have these little other stem plants kind of do their thing. Got some anubias stuck in here, that's fine. And we'll get this guy too. Get him. And we'll get him. Perfect. Perfecto. So now I'm going to come through here and I'm just going to trim off all of these. And we'll have to kind of scoop them out. But they should all create new growth wherever I trim them and be even thicker. And then we're going to replant a little piece of Java fern, trident Java fern, I think. So it always looks kind of crummy at first when you first come through and cut these back. But then they get really rich, vibrant green colors. Those are all going to float to the surface. I'll do my best to get them out. You almost can't see them once I trim them, but they're there still. And we'll replant a little bit in here too. This is really a time for the aqua scissors to shine. And then we just got a few more little pieces over here. We're going to do the same thing too. So I don't block the camera, I'm just going to use my fingers. Using your fingers is kind of convenient too, because then you're not throwing them all over the tank and having to fish them out later. Well, that's quite the difference. Quite the difference. Everybody's kind of exploring around now. Let's replant a few things in the foreground. I do this the simplest way possible. I just take some of my trimmings and I push them into the soil. Voila. Then I'll let them grow, and once they root, I'll come through and trim them back. This is a little too much, so I'm going to cut these in half. I want this front area to be pretty thick. It looks a little wonky at first, but that's okay. I'm going to let them root before I give them a good trim, and to keep them compact. I want to fill out that foreground a bit more. And you can see we got all these right here. Do the same thing. Stick them in. It's not a science. I mean, I'm sure there's some science to it, but I don't do it like a science. Got a little yo-yo loach exploring the front now. I think we'll do one more little bundle. One more little guy in right here. Perfect. Okay, so you can see I've kind of made a bunch of particulates in the water, but that's fine. We trim back this guy right here. Trim back these stem plants growing over this boulder because I like to see that. And then we trimmed and replanted some of our trimmings in this front to kind of continue with the carpet look. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way this tank is growing out. No fertilizers whatsoever, besides for whatever came in the organic potting soil that I used. The red plants are just beautiful. Now I'm going to do a quick little water change on it, but I'll spare you guys from that. We all know what water changes look like. And this was the trim up for the 60-gallon community tank. Let me move the other light right on top so you guys can see what it looks like. Oh, here we go. This is better with the other light all the way out. So I have two lights on this tank. You see what a stunning tank this is. Close-up shot of that gourami. Beautiful. No fertilizers, just a dirted planted tank. And it's doing super well. Those new trimmings we put in should grow great as well. And we'll just come back and trim those again. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little trimming project we got going on here with the 60-gallon community dirted tank. Everybody's looking happy. Everybody's looking healthy. We got a little more room to swim around now. I love those Odessa barbs. All right, everybody. Well, until the next project, I hope you guys all have a great day. And thanks again for watching. And we'll see you on the next one. See ya.